Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. I see something new on my live thing where you can pin products. How strange. You're always changing something on Facebook. You can always guarantee that. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you here again. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live. Just make sure to say hello so I can make sure that my comments are working. Hi, Catherine. How are you? Thank you for helping me out by saying hello. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm knocking everything off today. Oh, I'm going to knock my ring light over. It's just that kind of a day. So hello and welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Hi, April. Hi, Carol. Hi, Catherine. I don't know if I'm missing somebody. Hi, Becky. How are you? Hi, Sandy. Thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Lynn. I'm so glad everybody's here. We have a fun Easter project today. We're going to paint some chicken feathers. Hi, Pamela. How are you? The stencil we're using is going to be stencil number 9904. It's a medium. Okay, so I'm using 9904. It's a medium. Hi, Jarita. How are you? Hi, Susan from Minnesota. How are you? And Stacy from Florida. Texas weather is so much better. Oh, that's great, Nancy. Ours is still not good. Hi, Vicki. Ours is not good at all. So this is the stencil I'm doing today. It is a medium. It's on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. I'll show it to you in just a minute. You can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK. SIGNSHACK. So the whole stencil will be 35% off total with the sale and the code. And then anything else you want to buy, you can also save 15% as well. Hi, Patty. How are you? Ooh, watching in Arizona. I hope it's nice there. So I'm going to set this aside. Tell your mother hello. I wish I was somewhere warm. It's still very cold here in Northeast Ohio. So as you're hopping on, hi Jamie, how are you? Gray Duck Crafts and Creations. I'll have to make sure to follow you. I don't know if I'm following you or not. I don't think I am. So I like to follow everybody. Eleanor, hi, how are you? So as you're hopping on, please make sure to sprinkle, which means to do this. This is the giveaway today. Super cute little bunny butt. So look at that. Hello Spring. It's got the one overlay. It's stencil number, don't know what it is. Tell you in a minute. No. Stencil number 7345. And it's 2 parts. This is a small, but it's so cute. I usually put like a little bunny butt. A little like cotton ball or something like that. Smaller than the one I have back here on this Bunny Kisses Easter Wishes. But it looks really cute with a dimensional little bunny butt on it, the bunny tail. So that's the giveaway today. Make sure to sprinkle as far, sprinkle as wide. It helps me grow, it helps April grow. And besides bringing you quality crafting time, that is our goal to grow. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Sunny. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Bonnie. I hope you're feeling better, Bonnie. So this is the stencil today. It's these cute little chicks. And I do have a little color on it. I was working on my feather technique before because I haven't made chicken feathers in a while. And I wanted to make sure that I could still do it good. And I think I did. So I meant to wash it before the live, but I didn't get a chance to. My grandkids stopped by. Hi, Judy. So this is a medium, and again, this is stencil number 9904, and it has the one overlay, and but the overlay is attached. So it's on sale today and tomorrow. Hi, Becca, how are you? So like I said, make sure to sprinkle. I'm going to set this aside, which means to do this. We really appreciate it. It helps us out. And this cute, if you're just hopping on, and make sure to write sprinkled in the comments. Oh, those are horrible. I've only had one in my life, and just recently. Those are no fun at all. Do not recommend, Bonnie. Those are terrible. So this is the giveaway. Little bunny with little bunny butt and Hello Spring. And so we're going to hop right into it. I'm going to angle you down. Hi, Beth. How are you? And I did prep the board ahead of time. So this is I think it's a 1x8, maybe. I'm going to check. Yeah, it's a 1x8, and it's cut 18 inches long. So 1x8 cut 18 inches long. And I did go ahead and I painted it. And I did kind of a wash of paints. I used as a base, and when I say a wash, I got my brush, this brush right here, and I sprayed it, and I sprayed my board, and I got just a little bit of this Deco Arts Whispering Turquoise out, and I slapped it all over my board back and forth, and as it was still wet, I sprayed it again, and I added a little bit, and I mean just a little bit of the turquoise blue in it. So we have the Whispering Turquoise and Turquoise Blue. So I added little bits of the turquoise blue, which you could probably see, just to give it not a flat look, but a little dimensional. And then I also added a little bit of petal pink in it. And again, keeping it very, very, thank you, Vicki, keeping it really, really light and wet. So you can see like the pinks and the blues. And somehow I think this is the board coming through. So you can see where it almost looks like there's a little bit of yellow here. It's not. It's just where the wash was lighter in other places than others. But I thought that would be a fun pastel, goodness, a nice fun pastel color to do with our fun spring stencil. I'm losing it, guys. Okay, so now we have the stencil, and I think I may have to bring you up a little bit, maybe. There we go, that's better. That way we can get the whole thing in there. You get it? Okay, so again, this was a combo of Whispering Turquoise, Turquoise Blue with a little bit of petal pink. And it was all a wash, and it was just real wet, and just added just a little bit of that pink and a little bit of that blue streak-wise, just to make it a little dimensional. So I'm going to set this stencil down, and I'm bringing the little chicks all the way to the edge of this. So I'm going to bring, hi Donna, hi Deborah. So the edge where the chicks are, I'm bringing it all the way down. I want it down on the edge. And I'm going to tape it to my board. So I hope everybody has had a good weekend. Hi Donna, how are you? I can't even remember what we did. I think we had grandkids all weekend. We did. Trying to think. We did. So we watched some movies, we played some rummy, we made pizza, we did all those fun things. I wish it would get warm enough that we could go for a nice bike ride, but there's too much snow, and it's still snowing. I had to take my husband to the eye doctor today, and I had to drive him because he got dilated. So, it's been snowing all day. I gotta get a a paper plate. I had to throw mine out. Mine was on its last legs. Thank you, TL. I appreciate that. I'm going to be way behind. You're going to be way behind on what? Moving next. Oh, you're moving, like actual physical moving? You have 11 inches of snow? Ugh. You're in North Carolina, aren't you, Carol? Okay, so I'm going to start off, and I'm going to give my chicks underwear, is what I like to call it. And I am going to use this light buttermilk. So this is Deco Arts light buttermilk. It's kind of got a little bit of a yellow, thank you, Sherry, so much, tint to it, but it's kind of like a beigey white, but it's got yellow undertones in it. So I'm going to start with this as my underwear for my chicks. And I'm going to squirt it out on my plate. And I think I have a brush already. Let me see here. Yes, physically moving. Ooh, that's so exciting. So exciting. Yeah, I saw North Carolina got hammered. I think South Carolina got a lot. Well, hello, Teresa. I will try to remember that. Sometimes it takes me a couple times to remember. Okay, so if you're new to stenciling, I understand. I have a stencil addiction, and that is the honest to God truth. I got to get my hood. Hold on a minute. I got to rearrange my sweatshirt here. Oh, okay. I felt like I was choking there for a minute. Okay, so if you're new to stenciling, hi Renee, how are you? Hi Mitzi. We've got this buttermilk, light buttermilk we've put out, and I have my Stencil Smith brush. This is a 1/2 inch. You're just going to want to pick up a little bit of, so see how that's a little globby, but I haven't picked up too much, and it's like right on the tip. I don't know if I'm angled. Okay, so I am gonna just offload. So I use shop towels. You can use paper towels, coffee filters, this craft paper. Some people use like an old towel or a washcloth, whatever you want to use. And I'm simply swirling my little chicks in there. I want to give them some underwear before we start. That's what gives them like their underneath dimension. And so let's just get this started here. And to paint them, I may have to turn it towards me. I probably will. I like to stencil towards you and paint towards you, but it's very hard to do something like that that's detail upside down. Yes, I love the shop towels, and I'll tell you why, because they're so nice because I fold them into 4s, but when you're done with all 4 sides, I can usually work it and open it and then use the other 4 sides. I'm very cheap. I drive my husband crazy in some ways. We're the total opposites that way. He's like, YOLO, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. So, but I like to get more bang for my buck out of anything that I use. Painter's tape, all that stuff. I'm sure you all do too. Hi, Amy. How are you? Hi, Lita. Sunny, and you sprinkled. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry to hear about that, Bonnie. I didn't know what was happening to me, and when I Googled it, I was like, oh, my goodness. I thought I was going to die. I'm not sick very often, so I was like, woo. So see how this is like an off-white? It's kind of yellowy. So it's already got that like yellow undertone for your chick. So let's give it a, you know what? I might put my black out. I'm going to put a little bit of black out. And this is Deco Arts Lamp Black. And we'll do this while that's drying down there. I don't think I have a black. Okay, so let's get, I'm going to get another 1/2 inch, and it's the same thing. I'm just going to pick up a little paint on the tip of it, just like so. So if you're having troubles with like bleeding, that would be why. It would be the, you're not offloading well enough. And like right now I'm holding this down, but I could also put, because it's pulling up a little bit because it's hanging over like this. So you can also put, which I think I showed you last live, you can also put another, the same thickness board, and that lifts it up so it doesn't hang over. Although now my stencil shifted on me, of course. There we go. I had it taped down, but sometimes that's not in my favor. I use my tape over so much it loses its sticky. I find it everywhere. I go in the house, it's at the bottom of my shoes. It's on my shirt. Do you girls have that kind of problem, or is that just me? I feel like it can't just be me. Hi, Dorothy, how are you? So are you new to stenciling, Teresa, or have you been doing it for a while and you just discovered the Stencil Smith? I'm going to tell you a little bit, if you are new or anybody out there is new, the Stencil Smith is a company that's based in Ohio. They're in Central Ohio. They're a true small business, mom and pop shop. It is April and Pete, and they are husband and wife. They're just tremendous. They've been in business, I think it's 20 years this year, because this is 2026, so boy, 2026, that means my daughter has been graduated from high school for 20 years this year too, so time goes really fast. But so they've been around for 20 years. They have over 10,000 stencils. You can pretty much get anything in any size. There's multiple sizes. It's cut to order, so you don't have to wait for it to come back in stock. They're never out of stock. It's just a wonderful, wonderful company. And I'm going to give my little chicks a second coat for their underwear. Right like that. They are the best company. Hi, Nikki. How are you? Thank you, Dorothy. I appreciate you sprinkling. Last week, I think we had 71 people on, and that had to be probably a record, except for the events. It was really, really nice to see that many people on. That's always my goal. I want everybody to know about the Stencil Smith. They're such a great company. I feel like, and I really think that they're the best company out there. April, before the live, she was sending me, April and I have very similar tastes as far as like boho kind of hippie stuff. We really like a lot. And she was sending me something she was making, and it was so cute. And I was like, oh. So I think we're going to do it in a live here in the next week or two. But that's my style. I like flowers. I like just all that stuff. Okay, so we got our second coat of underwear on our chicks. What's so awesome, Danica? I forgot what I was talking about. Plus, there's a time delay, so you just never know. But anyhow, I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith, and I've been the ambassador for 3 years now. And I couldn't recommend a company any better than them. They are just phenomenal. They're just wonderful, wonderful. They have the best brushes, the stencil brushes. If you haven't tried them, if you're trying to round out an order for free shipping and add a brush or two to every order, you can't have enough, and they are amazing. I'm going to use their angle brush today and one of the liner brushes too. I'm not going to use the rake brush on this. I used the rake brush on the chicks one time when we did a live, and I felt like it didn't look as good as with the angle brush. It had a different look. They didn't look as fluffy, and I think chicks are supposed to look a little fluffier. Now, they're great on beards. Yeah, their rake brush is probably my favorite brush ever. I did a gnome this weekend. I should have been doing other things, but I wanted to get my St. Patrick's gnome. I didn't get it done last year, and I was like, I'm going to get it done this year. And I got that done, and I'll show it to you when we're doing show and tell. But I love that rake brush for the beards. If you haven't tried it yet. Oh, thank you, Danica. I talk so much I forget what I'm talking about sometimes on a live. Or like I said, it's on a time delay. But sometimes I do. I'm talking about something and I look up and I see someone's question and then I answer it. And when I answer it, I forget what I was talking about. And then I have to ask my girls, what was I talking about? Because it's gone. I don't know if you're like that. That's me anymore. It's gone, gone, gone. Okay, so we've got our little underwear on and we've got our Happy Easter up here. And I'm going to take this off and set it to the side. And we're going to start working on our chicks. Oh, I had a little bleed right there, but I'm not going to really worry about it too much. You can see I did have a bleed. I had too much paint on my brush because we're going to give it feathers. I got them from a site called Just Fine Designs, Catherine. You can find her on Facebook. It's called Just Fine, F-I-N-E, Designs. And she has, you can buy a set of labels for $3, and I think it's like $1 to ship it or something like that. I think by the end of it was like $6, but it's all, and I really like it because when I glance into my drawer, I know what colors I'm looking at. If you are going to do, yes, Sherry has a good recommendation. If you're going to do, because she just did the Celtic clover. Okay, I'm going to turn this towards me, and I am sorry ahead of time. I might be able to go sideways and do this. I'm not sure. But what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to have my, what color is it? It's buttermilk, light buttermilk. So I've got their underwear on. I'm going to put a little bit of white out, warm white. And I'm going to put some baby duck. She never tried them. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's awesome. Hi, Martha. April said one of her oldest customers had never tried the brushes. I mean, it's amazing. It makes life so much easier. It's very similar to a sponge effect, I think, where a sponge is really, it saturates it better. Okay, so I've gotten, I'm sorry, some baby duck, some warm white, and some, I don't know if it's cadmium yellow, cadmium yellow. I'm never very good at stuff like that. So I'm going to start with these little chicks, and I am going to, I got a towel here to tap on, but I'm going to get a little bit of water and just wet my brush and kind of tap it off, but just so it has a little bit of water, a little bit of fluid, makes it easier for the paint to move. And I guess I could try to paint it this way. But I'm going to kind of start just using my angle brush, and I'm just bringing it down, and I'm kind of softening the edges on the side. And then I'm going to come up as well, because we're going to have some fun little, and you want to kind of soften the edges where your design is at. And I know this is the same color as the underwear, but we're going to start with that, and we're just going to kind of slash it, and you can kind of give it some wiggles if you want. You can make it wiggly. And then we're going to get a little bit more, and we're going to do all these little guys. In their underwear. And that underwear layer gives it a little bit of dimension when you start layering colors on it. Lots of times I like to use gray as the underwear. Like I use it on the gnomes on their bibs. And so let's just, and it kind of looks ugly at first, but then it all comes together. And I'm going kind of one way and then kind of down in the middle and then kind of out. And I'm going to pick up some of this cadmium yellow, and I'm not even going to rinse my brush out. Yes, they do not lose hair. That is right. They don't lose any of the bristles. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. And I am going to start just putting some color in there. With this darker yellow. That one had a little piece of something on it. And again, I didn't rinse this brush out. It's still got some of that light buttermilk in it. And see how it's already making it look dimensional because of the background. And we're going to add a lot more to this, but this is just starting out. Hi, Julie. How are you? And I'm going to get a little bit more, and we're going to just go down the line. We got 5 little chicks. And some, you can give your brush a little wiggle so the line isn't so straight. And I'm going to get this one down here. And that's why I wasn't really worried about the bleed over here, because I'm adding some color to it. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to get a little white. And I'm going to go back here to the, excuse me. Oh. And I'm going to add a little bit of white in there. And again, I have not washed my brush out. And all this is just adding a little bit of dimension. And like I said, when you come down, you can wiggle your brush like this if you want. And then the little tufts up here, I like to go the opposite way. And we're going to add more yellow back in. Don't worry that this is getting too white. And then I'm going to show you a really cool trick with your liner brush where if you roll it, it gives you like a wiggle line. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get some of this Baby Duck, which is the lighter yellow. And put a little bit more in. And if you want to rinse your brush in between, you can. You don't have to. Excuse me. And I'm going to get a little bit more of this dark yellow, this cadmium or cadmium, I don't know. And there is like no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just going with the flow. And I'm kind of making from the, this is the toe and this is the heel, and I'm kind of just going like that. And just practice it. It's fun. Like before I did my bit, or my beard. I think it was yesterday I finished my beard. And so we're getting lots of layering in here. A little bit too much on that one. Okay, I'm going to take a break here, and I'm going to put a little bit. Yeah, the stained glass ones are fun, aren't they? Where'd my towel go? I put my, okay. So I'm going to start with my liner brush, which I had set out here. There it is. And I want to add a little bit more, like little fine line detail. So this is my number 2. I was using the smallest, I think, one, which is the 1/4 inch. And this is the number, thought I said 2. It is the number 2 brush. And I'm going to put a little bit more of this bright yellow out. And I'm going to add a little bit of white in here. And so if you have this and you have your paint on your brush, if you turn it like that, so if you turn it as you pull it, it makes a wiggly line. And so they're not necessarily straight lines, but they wiggle on their own. And all you have to do is turn your brush as you pull it. So I'm going to put some fine lines of that in here. and then go back and add, and I'm just turning my brush as I go. So I'm gonna go down and do all the whites, and then I'll go back and add some more yellow in. And you just turn it, and it makes it so it's not a straight line on its own. It does it by itself. It's really kind of cool, and it adds like some more fine lines. Because this is a little bit finer now than your angle brush. And then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to bring one off of here. Because you want them, I want my little baby chicks a little crazy. I don't like that one. Let me get, I don't know what I did with my wipes. Here they are. I never know where stuff is. And the great thing is, if there's something that you don't like, just get a little wet wipe and wipe it off. It'll act just like an eraser. So everybody had a really good weekend then? Yes, there's so many ways. I watch lots of videos on people doing techniques because I didn't know anything when I first started painting at all. I mean, everybody starts somewhere, and I don't think there's really any correct way to do something. It's whatever works for you. I can't believe I'm running out of things to say. Trying to think here, guys. I'm concentrating so much. And then I'm going to go back and add a little bit more of that dark yellow in this finer line. And then we'll be ready to move on to our eggs. Do you guys still color Easter eggs? I usually do with the grandkids. My husband loves hard-boiled eggs, so that's not a hard sale. Oh, thank you, Susan. These are little baby chicks. They're little baby chicks. So each little layer we're adding is adding just a little bit more dimension. Nikki thought maybe it was grass, but no, these are little baby chicks. So we've done the angle brush, we've added a little bit of the wiggly white lines, and I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add just a little bit. Yes, I'm going to do the colored eggs next. They go on the top, Nikki. Okay, so let's get some of this darker yellow. And I especially want to add some like here on the edges of it. But if you just pull it and roll it, it wiggles on its own. It's pretty cool that way. So I'm just going to add some on the outer edges here. Some of them are so cute, like that little wiggle turned out just perfect. And if you don't like a little wiggle, just take it out. That's all. My grandkids are here, if you didn't hear that. Okay, now I want to give them some little, I've got a lot of white here, so bring some more. And like I said, all I'm doing, bye buddy, is bringing the brush up and turning it. But you have to have paint on it. And when you turn it, it just does this incredible little I'm going to add a couple more little wiggles in there. And it just adds, because you have those, I skipped that one. You have the little feathers pointing down, and when you add this little bit of a finer line, and it wiggles like that randomly, it really adds to the dimension of the baby chick. Oh my goodness, it's almost 5 o'clock already. Well, we're getting there. We're close. I might have talked too much at the beginning. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So we're just like pulling it and wiggle. And it does take a little bit of practice, but it's just the strangest thing when you pull it like that, it just makes this random little wiggle. I saw that in a video I was watching a long time ago, and when I first tried it, I couldn't get it. But then the more I did it, the better I got it. You know, like anything. Okay. I want to have some fluffy chicks here. Whoops. Okay. So we've got some chick feathers there. What do you think about them so far? Can you see how that little liner pen like wiggled around? I never talk too much. Well, that's good, Angelia. We had 2 days of record-breaking. Oh, no. That's a shame. I wondered about that. I know Florida had some really, really cold weather. So I'm going to give this a quick dry. So that really doesn't take you that long, and it's just your own thing. Just like go for it. Don't be afraid. Practice it on a piece of paper beforehand. I have a big mixed media tablet that I practice a lot of my stuff on ahead of time, or to see if, yeah, the little wiggles are really cute. It really adds to it. And all you got to do is turn that brush. You load it with paint and you turn it and pull it. You got to pull it at the same time too. But I think it looks really cute. You did? You know, I always wanted to take like a toll painting class. I just never have any time. I feel like there's so much you can learn from that. Some of those ladies are just, not some of them, like a lot of them, they're very talented. I just want to make sure that's dry before I put my stencil down on it. Okay, so let's color some Easter eggs. And so your overlay is gonna go, it's just like a puzzle, so you're just gonna pull it right there. Of course, this guy doesn't have an egg. He might have one on the bottom, but we don't see one anywhere. So you just line that up. And tape it down. Oh, my tape's taped together. Okay, so I'm gonna do, I did one last year where I did eggs, and I actually pulled it out so I could show you, and I really like the eggs on this, but I'm gonna do colored eggs on this. So these I did, if you can see, I did the speckled eggs. So I did them in white, and you know, have you speckled? Yes, the rake brush makes a huge difference. So these little chicks are made with a rake brush. These guys, thank you, Nikki. I see her stuff on YouTube. But anyhow, this is the eggs, and I speckled them. And see how pretty they are with the speckles? They're little speckled eggs. So you could do that too, if you wanted to. Now, the rake brush that April was talking about is super cool. This is it right here. I have two of them. It's my favorite brush. And you can see how the tines, I don't know if you can see that, how they're like separate at the top. So the key to when you're doing a rake brush, and I did do a video on my beard, and I'm going to post it like as a little reel, but you want your paint to be like an ink-like consistency. So you want it watered down, and then you press the brush down like this and kind of wiggle it. Not straight down, but you press it down to the side and wiggle it, and it really separates the little bristles right there. And then when you do that, when you're painting, you don't hold it like at an angle, you hold it kind of up. And when you paint, you kind of paint with the brush up. So when I made this beard, I used a lot of different colors in this. Let's see if I can get it in the camera here. So this is the beard here with the rake brush, but look how much that looks like hair. It's just the most amazing brush ever. Oh, she does? That's super cool, Stacy. A very long time ago. So there's the difference. Like, that's the rake brush. And then on the opposite side, I have my Easter gnome. And I just kind of used the angle brush on that fur. So see the difference? There's the angle brush solely. And then there is the hair. Just like that. It's not as easy to see with the red, but it's an amazing brush. If you don't have one of these in your arsenal, you need one. They are amazing. So let's get started with our eggs. So I picked out, I'm going to have a pink egg, So this is Petal Pink. And I'm going to have a lavender egg. And I'm going to have a bright orange egg. This is bright orange. And I'm going to also double this with the little beaks. And I'm going to have an Irish moss. Stacy is her name, Nikki. And then Irish moss, this green. It's kind of a bright green. I used it on my gnome and I had it out. So those are kind of pretty colors for eggs. What do you think? Let me see what brushes I have out here. Let's see, I already have a pink one and an orange one and a black one. Okay, now before I start anything, I am gonna go over right here over my chicks before I do the beaks and everything. I'm gonna go over that with white. And if I had gray out, I'd use gray. Just because there's a couple different colors down there. And if I don't cover this with a base coat, I already have white out. I prefer gray, but white works. You'd see the different colors through the color of the paint. Not necessarily the black, but the orange you would. So let's get some pink here. And this is that Petal Pink. And I'm going to do, I think, this egg down here. I got all the stuff. And we'll have to do 2 colors, 2 coats. And I need to get, let's see, I have black, orange, okay. I need to get a couple more brushes out here. 1, 2, 3. And I really like these 3/8. I use those an awful lot too. And I think I'm gonna do the green next. This is a really bright, vibrant green. And let's see, these are, I do believe I'll do orange next, and then I'll put a purple on the end. I feel like I want the pink and the purple on the end. And the orange is kind of translucent, so you may have to do a couple coats. And I think we're going to decorate these eggs. That would be super cute. What do you think? We're coloring them, but we're going to put some embellishments on them, I do believe. And this is lavender. Couldn't remember what color I had. Okay, and I'm going to get the little eyes. I'm going to do those in black. I hear Jeff up in the kitchen. And I'm going to get my orange again, and I'm going to do their little beaks in this same orange as the egg. And I feel like I didn't offload that enough, so I may have some bleeds. I don't know. So let's give it a quick dry here. You can dry over your stencil. Hi, Janet. How are you? You can dry over your stencil. Just make sure to move it around. Don't just go like that over over your stencil, because you will warp it. But they're very sturdy. They're not just a 1 use or a 10 use or anything like that. I clean mine with Dawn Power Wash. I spray it on and let it set for a couple minutes. And then I come back with a little scrub brush and I scrub it real lightly and it just comes right off. So we're gonna do our pink, our green, this is the hardest thing for me. When there's a lot of colors, you have no idea how much time I spent today picking out colors for the Easter eggs. You would think I was like doing some kind of really important research or something. I have, my friend Allie used to call it color fatigue. It's like after a while I'm like, oof. I have a hard time with that sometimes. And the orange may take 3 coats. And while I'm doing the orange there and I have the brush out, I'm just going to go over and do their little nosies again. I'm going to get a sip of water. I do, Dorothy. I have my little paint cup here. And I put them in here. I try not to add so much water. Really, I don't like it to go over the ferrule when you're soaking it in the water. I keep it, thank you, Susan. I need to do the purple again. But I do wash them right after. Now, I was messing around with colors today, so I did use a couple of brushes. And I just wrapped them in a wet wipe for when I came out, and that worked fine. But I never let my brushes sit in water overnight, and it's really not good to put them up past the ferrule, I don't think, because I think it would loosen the glue on it, you know, that holds it together. But I do clean them with, oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I can't even imagine with fabrics. But this is, April sells this on her site. It's the brush cleaner, Master's Touch brush cleaner. It works great. And then the Heart Scrubby is like the very best invention ever. This little Heart Scrubby, you hold it. And what I do is I first let the water run and I rinse my brush in the Heart Scrubby. And then I put it in the cleaner and I rinse it again until it runs, the water runs clear. But the first time I do it without any cleaner. And this just fits perfect in your hand and it really helps you get your brushes clean. It's really a great product. And it's so nice that April carries it and you can just add it to your order anytime you're ordering. Okay, so I want to do one more coat, at least of the orange, because that orange is just being difficult, which orange can, some yellows can, reds can be that way. One of my feathers is peeking through beneath my orange egg. But yeah, I do have a hard time when it comes to a lot of colors like that. Even with the gnomes, I do. So it takes me a while to really sit there and think about it. The stained glasses, or the stained glass ones, the same thing. Okay, so let's see what we're looking like here. Oh, they're looking cute. They look so cute. Look at them. What do you think? Don't they look cute? Now I'm going to add a little bit of a pattern. And I think I'm going to do some polka dots and maybe some jelly beans. So this is stencil number 9357. And I was going to do colors, but I think I'm just going to add, I think I'm going to do the coordinate, I'm going to do it in white is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pick up some white paint here again, and I'm going to offload. And I'm just going to kind of randomly put some polka dots here. And I really, what I need to do, what I should do is let's see, there. That way, if I have the stencil beneath it, I'm not worried about going over. And it would be helpful if I used a smaller brush. So let's add some polka dots. I think I'm going to do 3 in polka dots and 2. Now, there's all kinds of things you could do. I have a lot, but these are a little bit big for these eggs, but there's so many cute things. You could do like the peeps. The polka dot stencil is number, let's see, it's number 9357. This is B, and it's XX small. And then these are really cute, and I put these little peeps. These little peeps are so cute. Look at this. I think I actually did it. So to add things anywhere, look at the little peeps on my Easter gnome. Look what I added. Look at the little peeps on his stockings. Is that not adorable? But they're a little big for, they're a little bit big for the eggs, the little peeps. But they have the little peeps, they have the little bunnies. I think what I'm going to do, now I have the jelly beans. I might do 2 jelly beans and 2 dots. So these are little jelly beans, and this is number 9902, 9902. So I think I'm going to add, I'm going to alternate, and I'm going to put some jelly beans on this one. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to tell they're jelly beans, but they're jelly beans. Let me see. Okay. And again, I put my egg there, so I'm not going to go over. It's protecting. I'm going to bring that one down. Put some jelly beans there. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do some more dots, more polka dots. And I have some other polka dots, but they're bigger polka dots. And I'm going to shift that so I can get a polka dot in there. And you can move it around to put more polka dots. And I feel like I want more polka dots. So I'm adding some more polka dots in there. And then I'm going to put some jelly beans again on this last one. And I think I'm going to move that one in a little bit to get more of the jelly bean. Okay. So we've got some polka dots and jelly beans. You could add stripes, you could add buffalo checks. I am going to have to go back and add a little bit of color up here at the top because I noticed I didn't go up far enough with my feathers. So I'm going to have to take my brush and bring a little bit of color down like that with my yellow. I'll do that after the live, but you see how I didn't go up far enough. I should have went up just a little further. It looks kind of silly. But we got them decorated. You can add a little bit of, let me get a little bit more white here. You could add a little bit of white to their nose. You know, like lights hitting it. You could give them a little bit of a pupil. I must put in the... And you could do this with your brush, the end of your brush. You could do it with a dotting tool. That one didn't, which I use a lot. And it just gives her eye a little life to it, a little sparkle, if you can see. So it gives them just a little bit of life. Ooh, she liked them stiff. Please keep your twin sister. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lita. Best wishes. I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. So I want to close the bridges on this because I'm going to do a little, it's not that late, so we have a couple minutes. Bear with me. Ooh, got way too much out there. So I'm going to use my liner brush, and I'm going to go away from me, towards me. And I'm just going to simply close these bridges. And sometimes I do like move it around because it's weird. I said weird, but that's how my grandson says it, Finn. He says, that's weird. So now when I say it, I kind of exaggerate the word. I got way too much paint there. Don't know why. I'm trying to feather it out. But usually when I get the paint, I get a little bit on my brush, I dot it off, and then I start in the middle and I go outwards. That way, if you lay your brush down and you have too much paint on it, it's in the middle and you can push it out. It's not like right there at the edge and it'll go over. But I just get a little bit on the edge of my brush and then I kind of tap it off. So it's not like super fully loaded. And then again, start away from you and come towards you. Otherwise you put your hand in the paint. I've done that many times. I haven't done it in a while, knock on wood. And I'm just going to close these bridges. It looks really good on script lettering if you close those bridges. It really makes it flow nicely. You don't have to. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of lines to this lettering and maybe some sprinkles with the toothbrush, I think. What do you guys think about that? I think that would look kind of pretty. So it doesn't take super long at all. Yes, black is the easiest to close the bridges on. I love when I do lettering anything in black because it's just so easy to do it. And if you mess up, you can get your wet wipe and you can just wipe it just like an eraser and fix it. And you can also use your liner brushes, like if you mess up and you have to, this is what I mean about turning it. Sometimes I do turn it when I'm closing the bridges just because it's weird unless you do it. You just know it feels like you have to turn it. I guess like writing. How you hold your hand a certain way, it's just a habit. And it, like I said, it doesn't take super long, but it really does. And you don't have to do this. It does, a lot of people do this, don't do this. And I didn't do it for a long time and my work sold just as good. And I don't think anybody even noticed it. But once you start doing it, it's hard to stop doing it. You'll want to keep doing it. We sure will, Lita. I'm so sorry. Cancer is just the most horrible disease. Okay. And let's close this. We'll close a couple. And I want to add a little, I'm almost done. I'm rushing here now. We want to have show and tell. If you haven't sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle. We have that cute little bunny butt Happy Spring giveaway. Super cute. You had to get another device? I know, I always make sure mine's charged before live. So we've done, we've closed the bridges on it and see how that just makes it flow a little better. Now I want to take a little bit and I think I'm going to use the green. And I'm just going to kind of make a couple lines. I did this on my gnome and I really liked it. It looks pretty. And like I said, I am not, I'm a, what, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm just, I do things and I think, oh, that looks nice. And then I just think this brightens them up a little. I saw something the other day that I want to try where this girl, I can't remember who I watched though, and she did lettering, and then she she used a paintbrush and she kind of filled in the top half with like a, I want to say it was like a blue or something like that, but it was a darker blue, and it was just enough you could barely see it. And it looked so pretty. It looked faded, which you could do with your stencil by setting it back up there and, you know, stenciling over it in a different color. But it looked really pretty. It made it look not so flat. It was really pretty. And I guess that's what I like about this. It doesn't look quite so flat when you do this. It just gives it a little, I like doing this, or I like taking my stylus and adding some dots. And I feel like I need to add a little bit here. It's, you never know. You're like, oh, Did I go overboard on my little lines? But it really looks pretty, I think. And make your art your own. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters. That's what I think. Because that's what it's about. It's about, you know, making your, it's happiness. It's a form of expression. It's joy. It's therapy. Huh. Mine is definitely therapeutic. Okay. I'm going to add a little slash there. So see how I added those little lines in it? They're not super noticeable, but they're just a little, they're randling, they're, you know, see that? It just adds a little extra to your lettering. It doesn't have to be, it's, you know, it's kind of all over the place. It's random. Hey, Tammy, how are you? So I'm going to rinse my brush there, and I'm going to do a little speckling. So Sherry wants me to do some white speckling. So we will try some white speckling. Let's do some white speckling. Where's my toothbrush? Should have got it out before the live. I'm going to have to use a paintbrush. My toothbrush, where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay. So to do the speckling, and again, I am going to go back in because you can see, and I'm going to show you, I didn't go up far enough on my feathers when I was doing them on my eggs. So I'm going to add a little bit of color up in here where it looks like there may be balding up there. We don't want bald, little chicks. So thank you, Danica. I appreciate that. So I'm going to dip my toothbrush in water. And then I'm going to pick up a little white. And I'm going to go over here and do just a little bit of speckling. And I'm just dragging my fingers across. You can get more in an area. You can concentrate. Whew. And I think I'm going to do one more color of speckles. Yes, you could do that with the dotting tool too. I think I'm going to add a little bit of green. And I'm just adding a little bit of green speckling. Concentrating more on the background. I got some on my chicks, but not a lot. And it looks pretty. I like that. Balding? That's funny. I mean, it's not funny. I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry that came out wrong. So we did a little bit of speckling. I might even add some pink speckling on it. See, it's got some green because I did put some pink in the background. I think I'm going to add some pink too. I'm just going to go for it. So you just dip your brush in there. Okay, So we've got some white, some pink, and some green speckling. And what do you think? Do you like that? I don't know if you can see the speckling. It's off a little. Sometimes you can also take like an old, it's a little more controlled, like an old ratty paintbrush and wet it. And I wet it, and you can just get some white paint on that, and you can tap it, and it makes bigger speckles. Whoop, not like that. And you can control it a little bit more, I think, with the paintbrush than with the toothbrush. So I'm just adding like some bigger speckles. And April doesn't want her chicks' eggs to be speckled, their faces. So I actually prefer a paintbrush. Whoop. Now see, I dropped my brush on that. I need to quit while I'm ahead. So I'm just going to get my wipe here, and if you just wipe it off like that, just like that, it's just like an eraser, so it takes it right off, so don't worry about it. So it's a little sloppy, a little messy, a little speckly. We get some decorations. Like I said, I got to fix, especially the green chick. He's really balding. The green and the orange one are really bad. But I like it. I think it's cute. Super cute stencil. On sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. You can save an additional 15% with my code. This is what you get for sprinkling. So make sure to sprinkle. Whoops. Make sure to sprinkle. This is the, excuse me. This is the giveaway today. Hello Spring with the little bunny and the bunny butt. Such a cute giveaway. And I'm going to show you a couple of stencils I have here. And then we're going to call it a day. Let me just move that there so I don't set them down in paint, because then I'll have more to clean than I need to. So I got some of these. I actually forgot I've had them hanging and I haven't used them yet, but they're so cute. This is stencil number 10342. Look how beautiful that is. That would make a beautiful background. Just absolutely gorgeous. And then this would make just a gorgeous corner on a piece. Let me find the number, and this is number 10342, and this is an XX small. This is F. And this is a B. This is an XX small too. They're both XX small. This is B and this is F. It's probably from the same set, but look how pretty those are for detail. That would look gorgeous on the corner of a piece. Beautiful background. And here's like a combo of them all. Really pretty. Let me see here. 10331. It's a small. Really pretty. And I just love, I use these kind of borders and little details a lot. You can take just the simplest of signs, you know, just like a simple little mini, and you could jazz it up with these. Really make it look nice. They're really pretty, very elegant. Those would be beautiful for like weddings, stuff like that, anniversaries. Now, I know nobody wants any more snow, unless you really like snow. I don't like snow, but I haven't showed this to you yet. I do believe Judy did this one. on Paint Share with Stencil Smith, and it was really pretty. I think she did it on wood. Really beautiful. This is stencil number 10301. It's a medium. I love the font on it. Look how gorgeous it is. I do not want any more snow, but that's such a pretty stencil. Really, really pretty stencil. Hi, Marie. How are you? And you can always, I've been adding my, when I finish this live, it's only on Facebook for 30 days, but I do add them to my YouTube page so that they'll be there forever, because I'll have somebody be like, what did you do for this? And I don't remember, but I can always refer them to the video. So this is number 10236, and it's almost Valentine's Day, but it's the stained glass Valentine's heart. I think it's so pretty. Just gorgeous. Really, really pretty. I love all the stained glass ones. They're just phenomenal. And every time you turn around, Pete comes out with a new one, and if you have to have it, right? And then this is going to be my last one, and I thought this was just adorable. St. Patrick's Day with a little top hat. And I think it's a little gnome. Pretty sure it's a little gnome. But I don't see a beard. I feel like I want to add a beard to it, but there's no beard. There's the little gnome nose, though, and the hands. This is 9289, and it's an 18-inch, but it's super cute. It's got the shamrock on it, and I love the saying, may your home be too small to hold all of your friends. Just really cute, the little leprechaun hat. So, very, very cute. And, of course, the stained glass one, the dragonfly, I don't have that. It's in my cart. But how gorgeous is that? It's so pretty. Oh, yeah, the bunny and the tulips. Yes, it's around. I know. It's around. So, so I am done for today. And make sure to come back next Tuesday. And we'll have another awesome live on Tuesday. I appreciate all of you joining me. We're going to draw a winner right now. I'm sure Sherry is going to be doing her drum roll in a second here, and April will be spinning. But this is the giveaway today, the cute little bunny. Hello, Spring. And I appreciate all of you joining me so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I know April thanks you too. Thank you, Vicki. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink. April's spinning the wheel. There's Sherry, she never disappoints. You too, Bonnie. Thank you, Donna. It landed on Beth Miller. Beth Miller, you are the winner. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate all of you stopping by. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week and a weekend. I hope it warms up wherever you're at. Thank you, Judy.